I think that what my fellow panelists have said for the implications for the IT industry is absolutely right. But I would like to extend to open up the aperture to by an order of magnitude and focus us all on a much larger problem, which has implications for the architecture we want for our nation. Now, let me simply point out to the following statistics. Today, and this is taking a large view of India across the full demographics of the nation, if you look at people today who are between the ages of 6 and 16, it's approximately 325 million people. Of this, about 100 million people either do not enter school, and by the way, 2/3 of these people are split between urban versus rural. 100 million out of the 325 million either do not enter school or enter it and fall out very quickly. So that's a total lost opportunity. Of the balance 225 million that go through, about 25 million emerge at the other end, well-qualified, college degrees, competencies of the type that people in this room are, and that is defining the face of Indian IT to the rest of the world. What happens to the other 200 million? And most of them are falling out at various levels without completing high school. So the reason I'm raising this point is that I think that the single biggest long-term make or break issue for our nation is what we do about the enabling and the capability development and the skilling of people like this. Now, so the choice is between, in looking at this demographic story, either we make it the demographic deficit or the demographic dividend. And I think that we really need to think hard about this. The good news is that there are lots of people who are beginning seriously to engage in it. A group of industry colleagues, I participated with them in a workshop. I see Frank Jones in the audience. He was there as well. But the good news to me is that there are points of light. If we can link up those points of light around the nation, it actually can light up and illuminate. But I think we need to take very, very focused and committed action. And I don't think we can rely on the known models alone. We have to give alternative models a chance as well and focus on capability generation. Okay. And that will make it sustainable both for the IT industry as well as for the nation. Otherwise, I think we have some very, very grim choices ahead.
Kamal, would you like to add?
Yeah, very quickly, two comments. One, I think as an industry, one, we are fishing in the same pond. So everybody is going into the same place and we are poaching from each other. And none of us are investing and training in and going into the tier 2 cities, tier 3 cities and investing in training and development of people there. There is a huge pool out there which can be tapped and can be brought into the mainstream. So that's number one. Number two is, again, what Som talked about, the education system. Our education system is too ancient. What we are teaching today is what we used to be teaching 20 years, 30 years back. So we need to make a whole set of reforms into our education system to make sure that the talent which comes out of the educational institutions can be easily absorbed by the industry. So these are two big things which we need to work on.
Okay. Well, thank you, Kamal. I'm afraid we don't have any more time for additional questions. I think we had an excellent session. We heard many fabulous insights from the wealth of experience this distinguished panel has brought this afternoon. On some of the important points, I would just like to stress that we heard very interesting insights about preserving organizational DNA as you grow in terms of creating the vision, creating the process, but most importantly, leading by example. Then we also talked about the structure and the need to maintain both a disciplined but yet flexible structure and the need to change. And we had a bit of a discussion there, a bit of controversy. I don't think we had much controversy, enough controversy sort of this afternoon. And lastly, we had a very good discussion about sustainability of growth, which I think will be a key issue. And just lastly, my views on that as an analyst, I think at some point the law of large numbers will start to hit home. It's easy to grow a small number by a large number, but it's much more difficult to grow a large number by a large number. And coupling that with the sort of resource constraints, the supply side constraints, it is inevitable that growth will slow down. The issue is, it's important. I think it's great that the industry is feeling good about the growth and the results it's achieving itself. I would just add that it's important to remain paranoid and to keep thinking about the next issue that will really change your business, because clearly the industry is riding on a wave at the moment, and it's a fabulous wave to ride, but all waves have to end at some point. It's really thinking about the next wave. What is the next wave that you need to catch in order to sustain that growth? But growth rates inevitably will have to slow down. It is the nature. It's what you do in that environment which will distinguish the winners from the losers. So thank you, panel, again, and thank you very much for your time.